about the Music City Loop.
The Music City Loop. We understand that the plans for that Music City Loop are moving forward. The Finance Committee of the Metro Nashville Airport Authority voted to recommend that the airport board approve a license agreement with a Boring company. The agreement states Elon Musk's company will cover all costs of construction, operations, and maintenance. Airport officials say this positions the airport for future growth.